It's 6 weeks. I have some news, some huge bits of information that you might want to tag along for, so subscribe now. It's totally free to follow along. Here are all the new videos that are coming up really soon. First is ways to stay positive during surgery recovery. It's really like high anxiety, high panic mode, and you're trying to relax. Having some information will give you some peace of mind. The next video will be all the supplies you will need for butt implant surgery and all the costs to consider. There is so much that is not just paying for surgery. I mean with your time and with other people's time, all the things the doctor doesn't provide you with if you're planning or if you are in the middle of recovery. The next two things are before and after photos of the butt implant. So my whole journey, I know someone was asking if I could wear a thong so that you can actually see. I wear granny panties. Those black panties are what I actually wear. I have a whole set of them, like a month's worth. They're my favorite underwears. And then I will also do my breast implant photos in case you're interested in that. And I'll do separate videos so that you see the full journey before and after, what it actually looked like, how flat I was, them being really swollen and then going down from the swelling. Be sure to subscribe so you see all of those videos. They're coming up very soon and I'm very excited to share them with you. Also, let me know in the comments if you have information that you'd like to know or anything you'd like to see. And I'm also going to do a haul of different clothes. I'm really excited with my new body, different things to wear to flatter your shape. And let me know what you think of this outfit. I have been shopping a lot. Let me know if there's any clothes that you want to see also. Comment below. I'm more than happy to oblige. I realized that I'm kind of hurting myself by lying down all day because the first thing I did when I woke up, even though it hurt, I stood up, I walked around the house, I brought my laptop into the kitchen counter and was working there. I sat down later in my director's chair that's really soft and textile. It's not wood with a cushion, so it doesn't hurt as much. My butt, the pressure isn't in one leg, it's now in my butt cheeks. So it feels like it's close to where the scar is. So the pressure isn't all on one leg now, it's moved around. I feel like that's a good thing. And if I do want fluid to be somewhere, I want it to be in my butt. I want it to be in that zone where I can have some more projection, I guess. Just an update. I think you might be hurting yourself if you're lying around too much. So every couple hours, be sure to get up and walk around. Stay active, get the blood flowing so it's not all compressed into one area. Just another heads up. Here are 12 quick points to take note of after you hit the 6-week mark. You already got number 1. Don't stay in bed all day. Don't be bedridden. Number 2 is get up. Every couple hours, be sure to walk around and get that circulation going, get the fluid going. In the first 2 weeks, I was doing those walks every couple hours and I thought, what am I doing this for? Like nothing's happening, and then now I'm paying the price for it. One morning, I just started my day. Even though it was a little uncomfortable, I got up and started doing some work. It was a little uncomfortable, but my body got used to it and I felt like life was starting to get back to normal again. It didn't hurt after like a couple minutes. Number 3 is at the end of the day, I get especially tired still. Not as much as before. This was like something else. The very first few weeks of surgery, I think a lot of it has to do with I am eating a lot more, so my body is taking more energy to digest that food, especially certain times of day after I've had like the largest meal, which is in the afternoon. I also don't just mean tired, like physically lethargic, but also a little more pain and discomfort is easier to be had at the end of the day because I think my body just really needs the rest. Number 4 is it's still really hard to go from lying on your back to moving to this side for me because I had a fluid issue. More into that later. Stick around. It hurts sometimes when I try to move to one side just because of the fluid pressure, but I don't think this will apply to everyone. I'll get more into that because there's a whole other complication. Not complication, it's just like a little surprise I have. Spreading my legs when I sit really helps because your stitches don't want to be pulled apart essentially. If you get submuscular implants, the pain comes from when they like tear open or cut into and open the muscle to stretch it. That's where the pain comes from, because when I got my breast implants done for the second time in the same procedure with my butt implants, the same surgery, double procedure, it didn't hurt as much as the first time. The first time was when the breast implants hurt like no other. I've never experienced anything like it until I got my butt implants and realized my breast implants don't hurt as much. The pain really is the butt implants. When you're stretching, that zone has never been manipulated before. Just be careful with the way you sit. If you started sitting already, discomfort will be there for a little bit. That's why bring a pillow, bring an airplane pillow if you can't afford a BBL pillow, if you're already at the point that you're allowed to sit on your implants. Number 5 is keep eating 100 grams of protein a day. So how much is that? In case you forgot, one chicken breast is the size of 20 grams of protein. So if you have 5 of those a day, I'm not saying to do that. That's just giving you an idea of the size of how much 100 grams of protein is. So you can have a bunch of small meals, a lot of protein. Just look for highly nutrient dense foods. I don't know how to handle the vegetarian or vegan life if you don't eat meat products, but I personally eat meat. You can have protein shakes, but I don't think it's like good to survive on that much sugar depending what you put in your protein shakes. A lot of vegetables are carbs. I have like 3 really substantial meals, I should say, or I'll just put 3 meals into one and eat one after the other, because you will be as hungry as a horse because your body is reproducing those proteins. I also supplement in between meals, protein shakes and sometimes just protein powder in my drinks. Ibuprofen also helps. For me, I just got over-the-counter CVS. I already had it in the house actually. So 2 pills 2 times a day with food, otherwise it'll destroy your stomach, depending on what the direction says on your bottle. I take them every couple days. In case I get really exhausted or have something big event that I need to go to and I need to sit for a while, I will take that. It's anti-inflammatory, and the pain, it also helps with the pain. It also makes you constipated. I personally am not constipated because I drink so much coffee, thank goodness, and I drink a lot of water. But my husband, when he was in the British military, they took ibuprofen because there would be days that they would doing some sort of like stakeout where they're not allowed to get up and leave and make any noise, so they had to take ibuprofen to make themselves go. They would eat a lot of fruit, just in case if you have a lot of painkillers and you haven't gone to the bathroom. That's just a heads up. Another note is number 7, the swelling will go down monumentally when the fluid retention sort of stops. You're going to see the real shape of what your butt is going to look like, especially after 2 weeks. You will still look very peachy, but at the beginning you will look boxy if your butt implants are on the larger side for your frame. So I am 5'2.5", 100 pounds. I got 400cc butt implants, so that's not huge, but for my frame it's a lot to take on. My butt immensely looks smaller now than when I first had the surgery. Within the 2 weeks it looked huge, and like my body shape, I look like really curvy girl, and now it's like gone down, but it looks proportionate, but it still looks big. It looks exactly kind of how I dreamed to have a butt. I didn't want a huge like Kim Kardashian butt, I just wanted a butt to look muscular, to look strong, to look healthy, just to look like I was born with it, because that's the point of plastic surgery, to look like it was natural if it's done right. Keep that in mind, that once the swelling goes down, you'll see the real size of the implants and how your body will mostly look, aside from the implants actually dropping. So you'll see how big they will be. You won't necessarily see the full-time shape unless it's 3 months in, is what my doctor said. That could just be for my situation because I'm small, he said. So 3 months for me, I'm on the smaller side. Take it easy, relax. Don't all of a sudden, oh, now I feel and look better, I'm gonna start running and jumping and dancing. I stopped taking painkillers. It was a week and I actually checked my old videos to see how far it was. And I want to correct myself. If I told people 2 weeks out I ran out of hydrocodone, I actually ran out of hydrocodone painkiller after 1 week. After that, I stopped taking painkillers altogether because I just don't like the idea of relying on a substance to make me feel better. And I also want to understand where the pain is coming from. If I'm pushing myself too much on that area. For the excessive fluid story, I will link up to my last video, and it's quite a story. In a nutshell, what happened was I got my drains taken out. I had an infection. After I healed from the infection, I had a bunch of pain to the point where I couldn't stand. One day, from the bowl where the drains were, a bunch of liquid came out on my bed, and I was like, what's this? I thought I peed myself, and what happened was a bunch of fluid came out. So my body really needed to get rid of that fluid. There was no way out unless it was from a hole. So a new situation has come up. I went to see Dr. Hughes about that excessive fluid, and he said everything's fine, just take it easy, I'm perfectly okay, I'm perfectly healthy. I was just really worried and stressed about it because I didn't know what was happening, and when you don't know what's happening, you're not mentally prepared, you panic. Ever since that one day that had that large amount of fluid, after that it was only like a drop of fluid coming out, and then my wound healed, and so I was still retaining a lot of fluid, and every now and again I would feel like this pressure and it would hurt. Turns out Dr. Hughes said my body would metabolize the fluid, it would create more fluid, but since I'm so small there's nowhere for it to go, I feel the pressure again and it hurts to the point that my leg was automatically bending by itself. What's happening now? A day ago I went to sleep, I touched like my butt here because it felt like something was like leaking. It was that fluid. A lot of it is like white blood cells and it's pus. I had my husband look at it because he's had a lot of experience with this, working in the medical field. He said it looks like, so there were like 3 zones where it was coming out of. So when you know you have stitches, those little holes that are made with the stitching, that's where the fluid was coming out of. So I was sitting all day for like the past 2 days before that. I was getting used to sitting, trying to get comfortable. All of a sudden this liquid came out. I clean it with baby wipes, and then I shower in the morning and at night to make sure that it's clean, and every couple hours I'll just check it. And when I use the bathroom, another thing is to clean yourself. When you are going through any kind of surgery, any kind of recovery, remember to take a shower. It's important because especially if you have incisions, your body needs to be clean to stave off any infection. So it also makes you feel really good. Like I showered this morning and I felt like $1,000,000. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated, and I'll see you next time. Bye!